Broadcasting from the McLaurin Carpet Studios on Central Avenue in downtown Laurel, Mississippi. This is Good Morning Pine Belt with Ben Winpickler on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, Good Morning Pine Belt. We're back live on a beautiful Tuesday morning here in historic downtown Laurel. Coming to you live as we always do from the McLaurin Carpet Studios. Go check out our friends over at McLaurin Carpets today. McLaurinCarpets.com for quality that will long be remembered after pricing is forgotten. You can go check them out. Before we bring in our first guest, I want to remind you that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Dixie Electric Power Association, a member on the electric co-op that has the best broadband internet you're going to find. And speaking of Dixie Electric, if you haven't picked up yet, I do that on purpose. Every time we have Miss Amanda Mills from Dixie Electric. How are you, Miss Amanda?
I'm good. We actually have sun in the forecast for a few days.
A few days, anyway.
Yeah.
So, well, I joke we've been trying to play church league softball now for like 2 weeks, and it hadn't rained during the week, but every Tuesday and every Thursday it's been raining. So we finally get to play this week. So we're excited. Well, Amanda, I know that y'all always have a lot going on. Y'all definitely don't slow down during the summer. If anything, you pick up and ramp up. And one of the things that we always talk about with Dixie Electric is that there's not many businesses around that will actively try to save you money.
Right.
So you spend less money with said business, but y'all do, and y'all have some things coming up that y'all are going to do that.
Right, yeah. So we host energy fairs every year, and that's not just for Dixie Electric members. It's for anybody in the community who wants to learn how to save money on their power bill. And like you said, we are one of the few businesses that try to actively teach you how to use less of the product that we sell, because we are not for profit. So we do want you to be as conservative as you can, because we know that money matters. It matters to me personally in my home, so I know it matters to everybody else. But at these energy fairs, you have the opportunity to come through. We have different tables, and they're designed really to help. They're educational. Obviously, you're going to get some freebies too. That's what lures a lot of people in. We want you to come. But you really learn how the power to control your bill is really in your hands. Right. And we give you tangible tools and things that you can learn, and even things right there in the stores where we are, which we'll get into in a second, that you can purchase to kind of help you get those bills down. So those energy fairs, you have 3 different opportunities to attend. The first one is Tuesday, June the 23rd in Waynesboro. That's at Gatlin's Building Supply there in town. Okay. Thursday, June the 25th is at the Lowe's in Petal. And then Friday here in Jones County, June the 26th is at the Laurel Lowe's. Okay. And so we're there from 10 to 2. And just come in. You don't have to give us any of your personal information. We just want you to come, grab a bag, go through all of the different stations, and learn a little something about energy efficiency that you can take home and put into practice and help you understand that, the power really is in your hands and how you can control how much that bill is. Yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of the tips that y'all are going to be giving people when they come?
One of the neatest things we've added this year is a game. So basically we give you these different appliances, and we want you to put them in order of what you think uses the most electricity to the least amount of electricity. And we tested this out at a small energy fair in Waynesboro a few weeks ago. And it was so funny to me, the people that put their lights and their television first. Yeah. But, we've grown up always being told, make sure you turn the lights off when you leave the room, or, don't you watch the TV too much. And that's really the least of your worries. Yeah. They use the least amount of electricity. And the amount of people who would put their air conditioner or their hot water heater close to last. And it's really eye-opening to realize people really don't understand where their energy dollars are going. Right. They don't understand why that bill is the amount it is, or that your air conditioner, your heater, your hot water heater, anything that warms, is using a lot of electricity. Yeah. And so that's where the bulk of it comes from with thermostat management is one of the main things that we try to teach. If you can get your air conditioner in the summer and your heater in the winter under control in a way that you can be comfortable, but at the same time understand that every time you touch it, it's gonna. You're the reason it's going up if you're not managing that thermostat correctly. Right. So it's really more educational pieces like that, really understanding. And then, of course, there's the easy DIY things you can do, caulking, weather stripping. Right. People don't really realize until you actually go around your doors and feel the hot air coming in, and that you've got some cracks and things and caulk is cheap. Yes. I mean, it's really cheap. That's something easy anybody can.
Yeah. Weather strip is cheap.
Yeah. If I can caulk, anybody can caulk. So it's little things like that, a hot water heater, timer, blankets. We'll talk about how you can use DE FastLink or whatever internet you have at your home with some different smart appliances that are out now and tools that can help you actually save money on your electric bill.
So those smart thermostats, I know my dad has one. Like, those really do make a difference.
They do, and they're smart enough. They learn your habits, and so they can kind of help you control that energy efficiency even when you don't even think to.
Because correct me if I'm wrong, my wife worked at Dixie, so she tells me all these things. Like when you're turning it up and down, like if it goes from like 76 to like 70 and it's pulling all that energy, that's really when it's using the most energy, right?
Yes, but one of the misconception is you hear people say set it and forget it. Not always, because if you set it on 68 in the summer and forget it, that's not smart. But we also don't want you to put it on 80 and forget it either. So it's just knowing that when you're away from home, nobody's there, there's no business for it to run that much. Right. So, yes, bump it up during the day when you're gone. And when you come home, start decreasing it in increments of 2. Okay. Yeah, you don't want to go from 80 to 68. Okay. You want to bump it down slowly. That's what Otherwise, yes, you're correct. It will use a lot trying to jump or fill in that huge of a gap that quickly. So,
All right. Well, there you go. So that's Tuesday, June 23rd, Thursday, June 25th, and Friday, June 26th. And I'm sure y'all will post those on your social media.
Yes, they're on our social media, yes.
So keep up with it. If you forget those dates, always look on Dixie Electric's social media to see when those are. Well, Amanda, I know I say it every single time when we do the intro for y'all's segment sponsor. But DE FastLink, man, it's great. And now y'all are expanding to even more new areas.
Right. So we have an expansion project that we expect to last through the end of the year. 90% of it is built out already. When I say that, I mean the backbone itself is built. Right. So now we're in the process of just every couple of weeks opening new locations. And so this week we opened up Glade, and that's for Mississippi Power customers there in that Glade community. So we still have rural pockets that are not Dixie Electric. There are other power companies who still have access to nothing. So we were able to get some BEAD money through the state to go to some of these areas. And so we're serving some Mississippi Power customers as well as some Southern Pine customers in different parts of areas that kind of connect to our service area. So they're not too far outside of where we already serve. So like I said, Glade is one that we turned on yesterday. 2 weeks ago, we have an area in Seminary. So lots of different portions of Jones County are coming. East of Butchie, Moselle, Sandersville, these areas that are Mississippi Power pockets that kind of we surround it. Right. So if you're curious, if you're in one of those areas, on our website, defastlink.net, there is a service map, and it's intuitive. You can type your address in, and it will tell you if you're in a area that is either available now or coming soon.
Okay. So Glade, though, can sign up now.
Glade can sign up now, yes.
There you go. And
I would still check your address because, like I said, it's only a pocket. Okay. So you definitely want to go make sure it's available before you try to sign up. But yeah, they can sign up now.
There you go. I'd go sign up now. If it's available for you, go sign up, because I promise it's going to be better than what you have. Yeah. All right. Well, last thing we want to talk about, Amanda. I know every time you come on, there's no shortage of things that y'all are doing for the community. And we talked to Miss Betsy and them from the United Way last week about the Dignity Drive, and y'all are helping out a lot.
Right. So when we learned that their Dignity closet was low, we wanted to see how we could step in. And so just offering another place where people could drop those items off. And really trying to help them advertise the items that they need. So we've been doing that on our social media and our offices. And so our Laurel and Waynesboro offices are open to be a drop-off point for the Dignity Closet for United Way if you can't make it to the actual United Way office. if you're coming by to pay your bill, or you just want to donate something, we encourage you to stop by and do that. Some of the items that they need are blankets, non-perishable food items. They suggest things like tuna packets, peanut butter, crackers, those kind of things, bottled water. And then they need hygiene items like soap and deodorant and toothpaste and those kind of things. And so it's a great thing. I don't know if if Betsy mentioned this, but anytime we have a natural disaster where we're there working, we're there restoring power, or
United Way's there.
You're going to see United Way on the ground too.
Every time.
And so it's just knowing that these items are used for people who are really in need during those moments. It's another reason why we want to help, because it kind of goes hand in hand, especially with weather events such as tornadoes and things like that.
And we're getting into that season.
Yes,
so people are about to start needing those. So that's at the Laurel and the Waynesboro location.
Right. And if you dropped it off in Petal, that's fine. Petal is a part of a different United Way chapter. Once you get a little further south, that goes into a different one. But they can get it to us, absolutely.
And that's the whole month of June, right?
Yes, the whole month of June.
All right, now remind us real quick of the date and times of the energy fairs.
Tuesday, June 23rd in Waynesboro, Thursday, June 25th in Petal, and Friday, June 26th here in Laurel.
And that's 10 to 2 on all of them.
10 to 2.
There you go. She's Amanda Mills with Dixie Electric. We're going to talk to her again next month, and I'm sure it's still going to be hot then.
Yeah.
So use those energy tips that she just gave you. Go to the energy fair and learn more. Amanda, thank you as always, and thank you for what y'all are doing in the community.
Thank you.
All right. When we come back, we're going to be talking with a local author about his new release of a book. So stick around. Good Morning Pine Belt. We'll be right back. All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We're back from the McLaurin Carpet Studios on this Tuesday morning. Our thanks to Miss Amanda Mills there with Dixie Electric. Go check out one of their energy fairs over the next few weeks. Again, not many businesses are going to actively try to tell you how to save money on their product. So go check that out. And they're great people. They're always supporting the community, as we talk about every single month. All right, before we bring in our next guest, I want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by our friends over at Bank First. For all of your banking needs, you can go check out Bank First today and go check out their perk rewards because I am a member of those myself, and they are great to use. The ATM reimbursement is definitely my favorite. So go check them out today, bankfirstfs.com. All right, joining us now is Mr. Christopher Watts. He is an author who lives in the Laurel area. And Christopher, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, well, Christopher, we're going to talk a lot about your book and kind of what those are, what your books are, and what you're doing now. But I want to go back. I know we were kind of talking off air. You have not always been an author. It's just something that kind of happened in the recent years, and you kind of got some inspiration. I want to talk about your journey to becoming an author, because not everybody can sit down and write a 100-and-something page book.
Well, let me tell you something. It was not the easiest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
But with that said, it's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
My wife and I, we were unable, at least we thought we were unable to have children, and we got a kid from Child Protective Services.
Yeah.
We had this child for about a year, and over the course of the year, the father cleaned up his life. And when you see something like that, when the universe shows you something that's so obvious, you have to do what's right.
Right.
So we stood up in court. My wife was Waterworks. We reluctantly, but we did what we had to do. We stood up. We said, Your Honor, we relinquish any kind of further rights, or if I don't know if we were going to get him or not, but we were kind of moving in that direction.
Yeah.
And in that moment, after 15 years, almost 15 years of trying to adopt, my wife was 1 month pregnant.
Wow. That's
so
incredible.
Incredible. So he was born. We named him Will, for God's will.
Yeah.
And I remember the very first thing. Okay, what did I want to do in life? And I remember back to 7th grade thinking, I want to write a book.
Yeah.
And I immediately got to it.
Yeah.
Immediately got to it.
That's incredible. So through your journey of career, so I know we talked off air too. You're not originally from Laurel. So how did y'all wind up in Laurel?
Yeah. How did we wind up in Laurel? Well, we were in Biloxi, Mississippi area. My wife was in the health field, and we moved here for one of her jobs. She has since stepped away from medicine. We got married in Macomb.
Yeah.
So, and we've lived in Grenada. So we love small town Mississippi.
Yeah.
I mean, not to mention have an opportunity to live in Laurel.
Yeah.
When it came, we jumped right at it. And how can you not love this place?
Yeah.
I mean, it is the greatest place. We've been here for 2 years now.
Yeah.
I've got a great job at McAllister's right now. What can I say? This is a beautiful community.
Absolutely, it is. So when you start the process of writing this book, you said you started it right after you found out your wife was pregnant.
Yeah, that's right.
So how long did the process take of actually writing
it took almost 4 years. I mean, about 4 years. This version right here is about the 18th or 19th draft.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and now keep in mind, I self-published this.
Yeah,
So there was no editors and things like that, so I had to go through it myself and do it. But the story itself is such an emotionally charged story of hope. And I mean, there's so much hope, and that's what I felt.
Yeah.
Every human being on earth has a parent.
Yeah.
Every parent has a parent, and it goes back. And I was thinking to myself, this is relevant to the story, of what happened in the generations prior to me to be here. And it started becoming an appreciation factor. You know, we're alive. And this all, again, coincides with William being born. You know, the gratitude of being alive, just breathing, you know, really has shocked me.
Yeah. And we're going to get to the book, but I'm glad you said that. But I have a sign in my office that is a quote from Thomas Watson, Puritan, and it says, "Every time we draw our breath, we suck in God's mercy." And I think sometimes people forget that.
Amen.
And so I'm glad you said that, because I think people sometimes forget the appreciation they have for the life. They just take it for granted.
Right.
So let's talk about your book itself. The name of it is Embodiment. Why choose that name?
This character Alexander Vukas, who is a fictitious character, is not appreciative. He's not at peace. He hasn't found the good things in life, and the embodiment is basically we are the embodiment of all of our former generations. You know, my grandfather, my great-grandfather came over as a basically he worked in the tunnels in New York. And chapter 2 actually is kind of after him. But what happens is this story is this man who is a financier. He's a millionaire. He's in San Francisco. He's decided to end his life on the very first page. Now, I know that sounds emotionally charged, but that's just kind of the setup. And then an earthquake strikes right when in this moment where he wants to do this. And that, to me, is God saying no, right? And he gets blacked out. And in that blackout period, he travels back to the 6 generations before the decisions that allowed him to be alive. Yeah. And he kind of almost, I would say, kind of Christmas Carol.
Okay.
It's not really he goes back and visits them with a ghost or anything, but what I do is I just replay each chapter is a generation. Okay. So when he finally does wake up from this earth, he's still in the earthquake. He becomes a hero. He saves people. He finds the value of life. And then the story ends with just unbelievable hope. It ends in Biloxi. A lot of it takes place in Biloxi.
Okay. Yeah. Well, one line that you read, or that I was reading right actually before the show started, success had bought him this view, this sense of containment, but it had not bought him peace.
Amen.
And that was one of in the first paragraph, that's what's read. And I think that's a great opening line, like you said, that people may have these things that he has in this character and everything, but it doesn't always buy him peace.
Right, that's correct. And it's not until we, as the journey through the stories, that you realize he comes from blue-collar, hard-working generations, you know, one that works in a tunnel, one that works on iron, one that's a teacher and all this stuff. And through the course of the years, I'm a 4th-generation Croatian American. My mother's maiden name is Skronic. And so that's kind of where this whole story started. Okay. Yeah. Whenever my great-grandfather got inaugurated into the Maritime Museum in Biloxi, we were there, and they proceeded to tell this story of him coming over here, sending money for his love, but it sounded so not like something I could do. Yeah. I was like, there's no way this man is, and that's when I started thinking, well, this guy's DNA is inside me. Excuse me. And I started feeling, you know what, I can do better. And sure enough, I kind of started fulfilling that. Yeah,
that's awesome. So when you were creating this character, what did you base it off of?
Right, I based it off of unappreciative thoughts of life. Just not being as grateful as one should be. Yeah. And really, the birth of my son really kicked that. I am not holier than thou. I make mistakes. I sin all the time. Right. I wish I could say in my heart, I'm a great Christian, but really I'm a sinner.
Amen.
You know,
we all are, man.
right? And I'm just trying to follow Christ. Yeah. However, this book has taught me one thing: everybody has their own situation,
right.
and for one person to think that they're better than we're all here. The main part of the story is to show, as in the end, if anyone makes it through this, and it is a novella, it'll take maybe 3 hours to read. You are filled with such a sense of hope, and goodness, because he comes out of it and he finds meaning, and I mean it's a really good. But the character itself was based off of just not fulfillment in one's life, just a fictitious, if you will, character. Yeah.
All right, well, Christopher, the book is out now. The book has been published. How can people get to this book and read about the story?
Absolutely. You can go to my website, which is ChristopherJohnWatts.com. That's the whole word together, Christopher John, John, Watts, WATTS.com. Or you can go to Amazon. It's on every platform. I think the easiest would be just go straight to Kindle or Amazon and download it. You have a hardcover, softcover, and ebook. And hopefully soon we'll be publishing the second one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. I know you got some future plan in the works. This is not going to be your last book.
No. I have a long format book called The Rub, which is, I think, Ocean's 11 meets Steel Magnolias.
Oh.
It's about a small town coming together to beat a corporate entity.
Interesting,
It's a more family-focused, fun, not as heavy as this first book.
Right.
But the nursery rhyme, The Miracle of 10, I'm very proud of. This is it's a beautiful story about the digits 0 through 9, asking God for spirits and God giving them a test, and it's in a nursery rhyme form. It's so wonderful. It's so wonderful.
Yeah. Well, when is this one?
That would probably be hopefully before Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah, before Christmas.
Well, that'll be a great Christmas gift. Christopher, man, I really appreciate you coming in. Is there anything with the last few seconds that you want to remind people about this book or anything else?
No, but I do want to say one thing to Laurel, Mississippi. You guys are truly amazing. I've been all over the state now for almost 20 years, and the people in Laurel, Mississippi are unbelievably uniquely kind, and not in the sense of what you think kind is. No. The empathy in this town is incredible, and I'm so grateful to be a part of it.
Well, man, we're excited to have you here. We're glad to have you here and proud to have you here. I'm excited to finish reading this book. I know I told you I had started reading on it right before you got in here, so I'm excited to finish reading it. And I know in the end, it's pointing people to Christ is the ultimate goal.
Yeah,
so.
It really is. Well, it's not preachy. It's not preachy at all. I am a huge follower of him. However, I'm on my own journey, as everyone else, and God's will. Just let God's will take over.
That's it. Go check his book out. Go to Amazon. If you look up Christopher Watts, you'll find it there. It's called Embodiment, and then we're looking forward to his children's book coming out very soon. I'm sure we'll have him on to talk about that as well. Thank you so much again for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, we'll be right back on Good Morning Pine Belt, so stick around. All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We are back live here in the McLaurin Carpet Studios. Our thanks to Mr. Christopher Watts, a local author who is trying to tell his journey through this book and through some other books and that are coming out soon. So go check that out today. It's called Embodiment. You can go to Amazon and check that book out. I can assure you that you will enjoy it. It's a quick read. Written by a great guy. Indeed. All right, before we move on to our next guest, I want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Community Bank, local bankers, local decisions, and plenty of convenient locations. You can go check out Community Bank today. They will get you taken care of. Excuse me. All right, joining us now on the phone. I know we talk a lot about what's happening across Laurel and Jones County and surrounding areas, but we're going to go down south a little bit to our friends down in Hattiesburg. We've had them on before, but now we're talking to Miss Latoya Norman. She is the Director of Museums over at the 6th Street Museum District. And Miss Latoya, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Excuse me. Well, Miss Latoya, kind of before we get into some of the things that y'all are doing this summer, because I know that y'all have a lot going on, kind of tell us about what the 6th Street Museum District is.
Okay, so the 6th Street Museum District, we're located in downtown Hattiesburg, and it's a collection of museums. And what's great about all of our museums is that they're housed in historically significant buildings. So you have the historic Eureka School that opened in 1921. It's the oldest of our buildings. We have the African American Military History Museum, which is housed in a historic USO building that was built during World War II for black servicemen who were stationed at Camp Shelby. We have Smith Truck Company, which was a very vibrant, bustling pharmacy that opened in 1925, and just recently we celebrated the opening of the Osceola McCarty House Museum on March 7th, which would have been her birthday, who was a philanthropist who donated $150,000, and her story gained notoriety because she was a washerwoman, and so she really inspired a nation to give, because as someone who was a washerwoman who made what she made, it really makes an impact that we all can make a difference. And so that's just a little bit about the 6th Street Museum District and the museums that we have. Yeah,
I know. I'm pretty familiar with Osceola McCarty. I've worked at Southern Miss, so that story really is incredible, and excited that y'all have a museum kind of dedicated to her now. Well, Latoya, as I said, y'all are not slowing down over the summer. Lots to do with kids out of school and everything, and sometimes with kids out of school, parents don't know what they can do with their kids, or people don't know what they can do during the summer, and y'all have kind of solved that issue.
Yes. So we have what we call Discovery Days in the district, and so that is a summer series of interactive programs which is designed to make history, science, and just culture fun for kids of all ages. So we've really looked at just over the different summers, some of the camps that come in and what they seem to gravitate towards the most. And so these experiences will encourage learning through hands-on activities, storytelling, and exploration. We have the Sounds of Service. This is a program that focuses on music. As we know, music has always played an important role, not just in life, but especially in military life. So participants will discover how soldiers use music to communicate, march in formation, build camaraderie, and maintain morale. And that's a program that will be open all month, but it is by reservation. So there are 2 days, June 12th and June 19th, that you can come at 10 a.m. and we'll have that, but you can also request it. This upcoming Saturday, we have our Science Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Detectives, what's hiding in your drink? And so our Science Saturdays are always really fun. It's a fun hands-on STEM program for children and families. And so they'll come and investigate sugar and acid and the content found in common beverages. And we always have a guest scientist who comes who's really an expert in that field, who will come out and teach students about the different things and just really make it fun and engaging. And so that's going to be happening this Saturday, and we do have some spots available. You can register on site, but we do ask that if you can register in advance, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. This Saturday. But one of the tours that we have this year, because we do have a lot of repeat visitors, and so what we're going to focus on primarily is our Ready, Set, Go tour. So at our military museum, we're going to talk about transportation, because it's always been really critical in military operations, and so when participants come in, we're going to focus on transportation and take them on a really fun, interactive tour.
Yeah, and I'm sitting here, I'm looking at y'all's website. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. And so that Ready, Set, Go tour, is that kind of through the entire month of June? What's that look like?
Yeah, so that's through the entire month of June. When you call to make reservations, we'll automatically ask if there's something that you're interested in. If you've had a traditional tour, then this is something different. So if you've been before, this is just an opportunity to learn about something that's a little bit different and unique. And as I said, they're all very interactive and engaging.
And what I really love about all of these is that they are all themed around something to do with our military servicemen and women. So kind of talk about why y'all went that route. I'm looking at the story time with the soldier. That looks really cool. Why kind of focus on that military part of it?
It's all about service. As I stated, our building, the foundation of it, is rooted in service and service members, and so we always want to remember that. And what's also unique about the building in terms of service is that this was during a time where the community really rallied and supported these troops, and the USO being a home away from home, we realized that service was not just the service members, but their families and the communities that really embraced them and made sure that they felt at home. And so we always want to, first and foremost, shine a light on those service members that came through that building to be able to tell that story, because they made a sacrifice. And so it is our duty to make sure that we honor those stories and uplift them.
That's really great. I several family members of my own who are service members, so that is a great way to honor those. So tell us a little bit about service story time with a soldier, and then I'm also looking to what soldiers ate through time. I think that starts tomorrow. Yes,
it does. So story time with a soldier is where you get to come and listen to one of our soldiers from the community read a story. Participants get to engage with the service member. They get to learn a little bit about their service, ask questions, interact, and it's really one of our favorite programs that community members really enjoy being able to come and participate in. But again, just another way to connect soldiers with our community and to be able to, tear down that wall, like really make a connection. And so that's what Storytime with a Soldier is about. And yes, fueling the troops, we have a special exhibit on display in our lobby, and so participants will get to come and just explore how food kept soldiers strong and ready for duty.
There you go. Well, what else is happening this summer across the museums? I know that's obviously one of y'all's biggest things there is the Discovery Days at the African American Military History Museum. But what else is happening there this summer because y'all have several things, I'm sure.
Yeah, so we have our Needham Jones Boot Camp. It's named after one of our World War II veterans, one of our beloved World War II veterans. And that's going to be July 6th, 7 and 8, and then July 13 and 14. And that's a camp that is open to young men ages 12 to 15 years old. Mm-hmm. It is free thanks to scholarships, and the space is limited for 15 participants.
Okay.
Students will come. There's field trips. There's a lot of engaging activities. And they also go home with school supplies, whatever their school supplies are. We look at their customized list, and they go back with everything that they need to be successful for the upcoming school year. And we also have another camp, July 13th through 17th, the Charles J. Brown Youth Civic Engagement and Leadership Camp. And again, this year that is going to be free to participants because of scholarships that were made available. So all of those, you can look on our website, 6thstreetmuseumdistrict.com/events to register your child.
And one thing that I forgot to ask you when we were talking about Discovery Days, what are kind of the age ranges for the Discovery Days?
So Discovery Days is, I would say, up to age 10.
Okay.
And then the camps are for a bit older.
Yeah, okay. And I know I'm looking here at the website. Looks like for everything that requires a reservation, y'all have got a link where people can just go right there and link those. And the majority of these, except for maybe one of them, are free. And the one that I see that costs anything is only $1.
That's correct. And that's just the tour guide fee. So everything is very minimum. We want to we don't want cost to be an issue, and we have a really great support in the community, and if there is a cost associated, in most cases, we have sponsors who will step up and say, okay, make this free, and we'll take care of, the supplies or whatever it is, whatever cost there is that's associated with it.
There you go. Well, Latoya, we really appreciate you coming on. Appreciate what y'all are doing over there at the museum, and appreciate that y'all are really shining a light on these veterans and connecting, bridging that gap between the younger generation and our veterans. So thank you for that. Is there anything else that we missed that you want to talk about between any of the museums in the district?
Well, I just wanted to make sure I said our phone number at least once. If anybody has any questions, feel free to call 601-450-1942, 1942, which is the year that the USO opened during World War II. So 601-450-1942, or again, they can go to our website at 6thStreetMuseumDistrict.com/events.
There you go. Miss Latoya, thank you again for coming in, and thank y'all again for what you're doing, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, that sounds great. Thank you for having me.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right. When we come back, we're going to be telling you about a local animal rescue that's kind of partnering with another beloved organization here in Jones County. So stick around. Good morning, Pine Belt. We'll be right back from the McLaurin Carpet Studios. All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We're back. Final segment here on this Tuesday morning. Beautiful Tuesday morning. Expect to have some nice hot temperatures for the next few days before it rains again this weekend. So that's just the story of summer. Our thanks to Miss Latoya Norman there from the 6th Street Museum District. Exciting Discovery Days there in Hattiesburg. Go check them out. Short drive just down from anywhere you are in the Pine Belt to go check it out. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget that you can always listen back on our SuperTalk Laurel YouTube page if you missed anything. Before we bring in our final guest, I want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by our friends over at K-Rocks in Ellisville. You know what time it is. It's almost 10 o'clock. So Rocky and the team over there, or Ash, Rock, the whole team over there is hitting those fryers hard. They're getting them hot. They're getting them ready. You can go check them out, get you a burger. Don't sleep on the burgers, even though they're a chicken place. Don't sleep on the burgers. Go check them out and then slide next door to beat the heat with a nice, cool, crazy cone right next door. Thanks to our friends over at K-Rocks. All right, joining us now is Mr. Lane Hilbun. And Mr. Lane, thanks very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Lane, we'll jump right in. I know we were talking a lot off air about what y'all are doing, but y'all are hosting a really fun event coming up here in actually this weekend. So tell us all about it.
This weekend, it's just a fundraiser for the Children's Advocacy Center. And Murray Wyndham's the least of these animals because they are always searching for extra funding throughout the year. And this gave us a good excuse to, let the money go to two really good causes. It's just an excuse for everybody to get out and come dance to some old music and have a great time.
There you go. So the name of it's called Mad Jack's Staying Alive 2026 Reunion. I was not aware. I've lived in Laurel my whole life, but I guess it was before my time. I'm looking at the building where a former dance club used to be called Mad Jack. So, and that's kind of how this all started, right?
That's how it all started. We were sitting around another place having supper one afternoon, and somebody said, that there's nothing to do. And why don't we have a reunion with the old crowd, because nobody does anything. So I said, well, if I can get the owners to back me up, we'll do that. So I got all three of their blessings, and we started that about that. I guess this makes our 9th event in 12 years.
Wow. So that's a lot of fun. I know people do say all the time we don't really have a fun time or place to go dancing. Well, y'all are offering that. So tell us about the event itself. I know it's going to be, this was the first year y'all have done 2 nights, right?
First time. Friday night's going to be country music night for all the line dancing people and loving the old style country music. And of course, Saturday we'll be back to the old, like old Michael Jackson and Spinners and all that kind of ABBA stuff like that everybody still listens to on the side. But you don't hear it very often on the radio.
Right.
But it gives us something to do and get out.
Yeah, so this is an event against it's this fundraiser. So there's a cost to it. So tell us what that is and how people can get tickets.
Okay, the tickets will be available. We'll be there Friday afternoon and Saturday, probably by 4:00. So you can stop by Edgar's. It's going to be in their event room, and they're $25 each per night. That does not include any drinks. And you can still go there and eat supper if you want to get there early enough and have a good supper at Edgar's while you're waiting for the music to get started.
Okay, so the music each night is going to kick off, and it's going to be a live DJ, right?
A live DJ. Don King from Hattiesburg is coming up. We're anxious to see how many people we have come in, and it's going for the two good causes that really need our help.
And what I'm looking at too, obviously there are going to be some adult beverages there from Edgar's, and y'all are actually going to have, just in case somebody maybe has a little too many, you're going to have some designated drivers there.
We do for around Laurel, the Laurel immediate area anyway. So we'll have some way, if somebody wants to have a couple and not have to worry about driving, we will have DD drivers starting at about 9 o'clock each night.
There you go. So it all starts off there at 9 o'clock on Friday night, country music night, do some line dancing, and Saturday night it's going to be a little bit more disco theme. And it's all going towards a great cause. I know y'all have done it before. So why these two causes?
It's just the Children's Advocacy Center came. We found out about them, and where instead of sending the kids and the families to all different places to help the kids with their emotional and stuff going on in their life, they do it all in one center and bring everybody together, and it helps the parents too. And of course, our four-legged friends that everybody loves so much, they need the help, and all the animal rescue leagues around, all of them are always a little behind and need the extra help. So that's why we're doing this.
When did Mad Jack close?
Probably about 86.
Okay.
It started Christmas of 1979. And it was just a big place for this southeast area.
Yeah. How long did you work there?
I was there about 3 years.
Okay, there you go. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. A good couple nights this weekend, Friday and Saturday night. Remind us how people can get tickets and the times.
Just come by Edgar's. There will be somebody there at one of the doors by probably 4 o'clock Friday and Saturday. And like I said, it's $25 per night. And you can come get your tickets or armbands, and if you need to go get something to eat somewhere and then come back after the music starts, we can do it that way.
Oh, I would suggest just staying there and eating at Edgar's because it's really good.
That's true. Edgar's is really good food, and they've got good service.
They do indeed. Well, Mr. Lane, we really appreciate you coming on, appreciate what y'all are doing to offer people something fun to do, and it's all benefiting a great cause.
Yeah, I hope to see a lot of people there. Come out and join us.
There you go. All right, go check that out. That's this weekend, Friday and Saturday. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow, though, but until then, you can always listen in and keep up to date right here on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.